here to live now from Foxville. New video coming in right now from D.C., where a bus from Texas has arrived this morning transporting dozens of illegal immigrants as part of Texas Governor Greg Abbott's new plan to counter federal immigration policies during an ongoing border crisis.
You did it. You crazy son of a bitch, you did.
Welcome to the Bald Brad Show. Our story here is regarding Texas. Governor Greg Abbott, Senator Ted Cruz, sending and busing illegal immigrants to Washington, D.C. And folks, it finally happened. Hell, how many times have you heard me say, I hope this goes through. I hope they really do it. And they did it. They actually freaking did it. Can you imagine Jen Psaki, Joe Biden, and the rest of the Democrats going, holy shit, what are we going to do? This is awesome. This is the best news I've heard in quite some time. And I love that they're doing this, folks. I am all for this 100%. This one comes from Blaze Media, and they say, a bus from Texas carrying dozens of illegal immigrants arrived in Washington, D.C. on Wednesday morning, allowing passengers to disembark just blocks away from the United States Capitol, according to the Fox News report. Now, if you recall, Jen Psaki was like, well, this is just a publicity stunt. They're not really going to do it because it's against federal law and they can't force illegal immigrants onto these buses. Well, Jen, just a few days later, here we go, just blocks away from the United States Capitol. Hell, I wish they would have dropped them off right on the White House lawn, right in front of the White House gates, hell, in Delaware in front of Joe Biden's house, or heck, right on the steps of the state capitol. Allow the Democrats to deal with it because they want this so much. Well, Governor Greg Abbott announced last week that he would direct the Texas Division of Emergency Management to charter buses and flights to transport migrants who have been processed and released from federal custody to Washington, D.C., in response to Biden administration's plan to rescind Title 42. Now, if you recall, Title 42 is basically just a health provision that allows for deportation to be expedited. And Joe Biden wants to remove that. So our immigration would go from 6,000 to 8,000 a day to 18,000 a day. Hell, 6,000 to 8,000 was already out of the scope and limit to what we can deal with, where the Border Patrol, DHS, is asking not just a Pentagon for troops and extra assistance, but they're taking volunteers for this stuff because they don't have any space, they don't have enough aid, they don't have enough workers for all these people that are pouring through across the border. But critics on both the left and right were quick to slam the Texas governor's plan as a publicity stunt and a gimmick when they found out that illegal immigrants must volunteer and show documentation from DHS to be transported to the Capitol. Well, it's not a gimmick. And it's not just a publicity stunt, folks. It's really happening. And I couldn't be any more excited than I am right now. When I was sitting at work and reading this news, I couldn't get home quick enough to do this video. I'm stoked about this. I absolutely love it. This is what politics is all about, folks. This is why I do it. The excitement, the rush, even when you have an inkling of doubt in your mind that it might not happen. Crack a beer if you drink, folks. Grab a cigar if you smoke. Heck, if you don't do any of that, have a glass of water and let's cheers one another with what's going on with Texas transporting these illegal immigrants to Washington, D.C. Press Secretary Jen Psaki said, I think it's pretty clear that it's a publicity stunt. I just want to see what's going on in her office right now. And Joe Biden going, huh? Whoa, they did what? This is so good. When asked what the Biden administration planned to do in response to Governor Abbott's initiative, his own office admits that a migrant would need to voluntarily be transported and that he can't compel them because, again, enforcement of our country's immigration law lies with the federal government and not a state. It goes on to say, nevertheless, a bus from Del Rio sector in Texas reportedly pulled up just blocks away from the U.S. Capitol building around 8 a.m. And we have footage of this, folks. We'll get to that in a moment. And this happened Wednesday to drop off dozens of migrants said to be from Colombia, Cuba, Nicaragua, and Venezuela. In the last 24 hours, TDEM had dispatched buses to areas where communities have expressed concerns about the federal government dropping off migrants and has the capability to send as many as necessary to fulfill the requests from mayors and county judges. This comes from the chief of media and communications. Well, from the Rio Grande Valley to Terrell County, A large majority of the communities that originally reached out for support through this operation have now said the federal government has stopped dropping migrants in their towns since the governor's announcement on Wednesday. Holy crap, they're actually serious about this. This could create a massive you-know-what storm for me, which I was hoping, right? I said, instead of a truck convoy, can we get a charter bus convoy of just illegal immigrants going like 40 miles long, just carrying thousands upon thousands of these people coming from Texas, Arizona? You got Ron DeSantis wanting to drop them up at Delaware, the U.S. Capitol. What is it? Martha's Vineyard, I think, was another place that Ron DeSantis wanted to send them to. If we get all 3 states working in unison, this is going to create a massive problem for Washington, D.C. And I hope it does, because they're creating massive problems for Texas, Arizona, Florida, all these other states by allowing this immigration to happen and then making them put the bill. Going, you guys deal with it. That's how the federal government works and screws over the states, again, like these red states. A tweet here from Governor Greg Abbott says, first Texas bus drops off illegal immigrants from U.S. Capitol in Washington, D.C. Oh, so good. Biden refuses to come see the mess he's made at the border. Well, he's probably taking a nap, let's be honest. Or hell, he doesn't know what's going on. He probably doesn't even know that Texas is sending anybody to Washington, D.C. Naturally, the reception on social media was mixed. Texas Governor Abbott actually did it. First bus unloads illegal immigrants or migrants to Washington, D.C. Let's go ahead and watch this real quick.
Country, because Title 50, look, I'm glad they have some friends. Because
I'm glad they have some friends.
On May 23rd. This is outrageous. Think about all of the places in our country where we're using this money. Instead, we're financing illegals to come into our country and then go possibly onto our...
All right, I've seen this before. This guy doesn't have a clue what the bracelets are for. He just kind of fumbles through his words like Jen Psaki and Joe Biden. We have another one from Bobby Carr here. If the migrants are asked if they want to go to D.C. and they say yes, then they're just basically getting a free ride there, right? When they're being released, they are free to go wherever they want. They choose D.C., so isn't Texas just giving them a free ride where they choose? Yeah. I mean, that's the whole point, is we're going to give them a free ride and let Washington, D.C. or the sanctuary states deal with it. Texas doesn't want them there. Arizona doesn't want them there. Florida doesn't want them there. The people don't want them there as a whole. So, again, send them to places where they're going to be at. Look, they're already footing the bill anyways. They've already budgeted for it. So if they're having to foot the bill and deal with this problem in their home state, then just send them somewhere else and not only deal with the problem in your home state of having to foot the bill for these charter buses, but then everything else that's an externality outside of that, let that state deal with it, meaning Washington, D.C., that even though they don't have a representative there, let the DMV area deal with it. Let Virginia deal with it if they want to move down there. Let Maryland deal with it if they want to move up there. All those things, let that area deal with it. They want them so bad, they can keep them. A very good next bus, #Delaware, in front of Biden's estate. There's plenty of room for tents. Not wrong. So you kidnap people. This is where you get these knuckleheads, folks. Nobody said they got kidnapped. Is that guy letting his wristband look like he got kidnapped? And I love how they care about the people that are kidnapped. Can we talk about what the drug cartel's doing to people? Can we talk about what the MS-13 gang members are doing to people that are pouring across the border? But she doesn't want to talk about that, folks. Of course she doesn't, because it goes against her narrative. Nobody was kidnapped. Everybody had to volunteer and willfully get on that bus without anybody twisting their arms or anything of that nature to be shipped or sent to Washington, D.C. But you're always going to have knuckleheads out there. They chose to go to D.C. Yep. Of course, it's a publicity stunt, but amazing genius publicity stunt, one that forces media to cover the issue. It's not a publicity stunt. He's really doing it. I think it would be a publicity stunt if, this wasn't an ongoing thing, but, the fact of him actually doing it, I think it was more a publicity stunt of him just saying it rather than really doing it. So this is awesome, the fact that he's doing this, and maybe it's going to make Biden and the administration think twice about their whole removal of Title 42. Yeah, Greg Abbott is the man. All right. It's my Texas governor. We are glad to have him protect us and keep us safe. Now, all we need is another 49 governors to run their state according to the United States Constitution. Well, that ain't going to happen, even though we wish. That's a best case scenario. Best news in a long time. Damn right. I don't know if you guys can tell. I'm stoked about this. Again, there was an inkling of doubt that I thought he actually wouldn't do it, but the man did it. The man did it. Him and Ted Cruz deserve a round of applause from everyone here at the Bald Brad Show for actually doing their job, stepping up to the plate, and, sending these people into the interior of the country where they would have ended up anyways. Recall, folks, that these people were being flown under the dark of the night to stadiums in different areas across the country anyways. And I love how that person goes, oh, well, they just got a free ride. Yeah, I mean, technically they get a free ride, but now they're going to be dealt with, in those states, and they got to dictate where they're going to go from there. So who knows how this is going to turn out? Maybe it could be a nightmare, but I hope it's a nightmare for the Biden administration and not so much for Ron DeSantis, Greg Abbott, Ted Cruz, all those great Republicans that are doing yeoman's work. With that being said, folks, make sure you like and subscribe, share this with your friends and family all over social media, and I will see you next time here on The Bald Brad Show.